and welcome to Youth Cafe. I am Chanti Reyego, and as you can see, I'm riding solo today. My co-host Brian Aseli isn't with us, but don't worry, I'm gonna keep you updated on everything that's been happening throughout the week. I have some amazing stories lined up for you. Of course, we have Person of the Week, and we have Art Corner for you. And on our musical section, I have two very amazing guests for you. It's gonna be such a litty show, and I'm so excited to get things going. We're gonna be talking about Kim Kardashian. She has been everywhere this week, and of course the World Cup. I'm not a fan of football, you guys, but I'm gonna try my best to keep up with what's been going on. So to start us off, we're gonna start with the first story from Nigeria. And as you know, the World Cup is coming up soon. It's gonna be in Russia. And right now, the Nigerian jerseys are selling out. That is like the hottest fashion trend that's going around right now. You're gonna get to see a bit of what the collection entails. By now, it's already been sold out within hours in the UK stores everywhere. Sold out because people are absolutely loving the African style. So let's take a look at the collection. Million orders have been already made for these jerseys, so they are sold out. People are already even starting to resell them on Facebook and on social media for about $109 to $295. Now, taking us over to the world of the Kardashians, everybody has been talking about this. Kim Kardashian's visit to the White House. Yes, we are talking about Donald Trump White House. Yes, she had her visit last week, and let's find out what exactly she was doing there. Take a look at the clip. By this point, I think we should all just move into the adult film industry, because clearly it gave Kim Kardashian West enough clout to have some pull in the American government. After one sex tape, a whole 14 seasons of keeping up with the Kardashians and taking over the fashion and beauty industry, Mrs. Kardashian West is now ready to delve into politics. Her first order of business, prison reform. Last week, Kim met up with the United States President Donald Trump, who isn't really the most popular kid in school, to lobby for the release of Alice Johnson, a 63-year-old woman who was given a life sentence in prison back in 1996.
I made one of the worst decisions of my life to make some quick money. I became involved in a drug conspiracy.
She was convicted on a charge of non-violent drug offense, but received a stiff penalty of life without the possibility of parole. Kim posted about the Alice Johnson story, saying it's not fair. And a week later, Alice was released from jail. The power of celebrity. And that's Cindy Reyego with your entertainment bit. When it's all said and done, I think it just came from the right place, regardless of what you think about Kim Kardashian and how she came about her fame. I mean, she's doing a good thing. She's reunited her grandmother with her kids after like 2 decades. So right now, I'm just gonna switch it over to my guest today. I have the beautiful, gorgeous Valerie Modoni. Welcome, Valerie. How are you today?
Thank you for having me.
You're looking gorgeous. You're looking gorgeous. And I can see you're rocking the Bongo Sawa fit, representing Kenyan made. All right, and we have Antonio. So I'm loving the camo jacket.
I know, right?
The glasses, the hair. Icon. Thank you guys for coming. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this story? Kim Kardashian visiting the White House and pulling strings enough to have Trump release someone from prison early.
I can go first. I think I saw like a lot of backlash on Twitter, like, oh, what does she know about politics, or how are we letting her soap, reality TV stuff. But I'm thinking, honestly, it came from a good place. And if she has the power to get what needs to be done, let it do it, because these people are typing on Twitter, they're not doing their hashtags. Sometimes they don't like retweeting, and sometimes that doesn't do it enough. Exactly. And so if Kim Kardashian can get the attention of Donald Trump, then hey, let her do her thing. Me, I'm supporting.
I think this is it's interesting because it sort of still falls in line with like the project that I just did, which tells a story of a young Anto who's incarcerated, and he comes from the ghetto. And it's also the idea that, and the context that a lot of people are shackled from, just the background. This is a 62-year-old great-grandmother who is a non-violent offender.
Yes.
And we have a lot of similar stories about young people who just come from the ghetto trying to make it in life and who end up being incarcerated for so many years. And we have politicians walking free who've stolen a lot of money all over the world.
All right.
So it just shows that I think as an artist for her, it reaches a point where, you have to use your voice for the right reasons, and I think she's doing great. We have to give it to her for that.
Yeah. All right, for sure, we're going to come back and talk a bit about that, your new video, Slow Down. Our next story right now is the CFDA Awards, the Council of Fashion Designers of America. It is a big, big night when it comes to fashion, and everybody was there strutting their stuff on the red carpet. Of course, Kim Kardashian had to show up, had to show out. Let's take a look at what happened on the red carpet.
Originally from here.
Yeah.
You live near here?
Yep.
So where you from?
Honestly, it doesn't matter what I say because this isn't going anywhere.
The only thing insecure about your girl Issa Rae is the title of her hit HBO series. The 33-year-old actress is definitely securing the bag this year by becoming the first black woman in its 37-year history to host the Council of Fashion Designers of America Awards, which went down on Tuesday in Brooklyn, New York.
Hello, 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 hello. Everyone looks beautiful. Good evening and welcome to the 38th Annual CFDA Awards.
The evening honors the best and brightest in American fashion.
Gigi, back here to the right. Gigi, stay. On the shoulder, Gigi, on the shoulder. Here we go, Gigi, gorgeous. Beautiful, this way. Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett this way. Kate, right back.
Aside from her stellar hosting abilities, Miss Rae made a bold statement on the red carpet by accentuating her outfit with a belt that had the N-word on it and taking jabs at Kanye West's recent comments on TMZ that slavery was a choice.
When I'm left to my own devices, I'm about as fashionable as Kanye is black, only when it's convenient. You guys, that joke was my choice, just like slavery. Come on.
She did all this in her opening monologue with Kim Kardashian, Kanye's wife, right in the front row. Talk about major shade. Of course, the stars did nothing but slay with our very own Kenyan-born actress Lupita Nyong'o rocking liquid gold lips and a custom thigh-skimming Versace bustier gown.
I am delighted to present the special CFDA Influencer Award to Kim Kardashian West.
Kim Kardashian had tongues wagging all night, being the first person to take home the Fashion Influencer Award, the biggest one of the night. She sent out a special shout out to her former stylist who told her she would never make it. Gotta love it when you prove those haters wrong. And that's Cindy Rayego with your entertainment bit. Welcome back to the show. Remember, you are watching Youth Cafe with me, Tandy Rayego, and right now I'm sitting with my two musical guests, Valerie Mudhoni and Anto Neosol. I believe that these names are quite familiar to you. Valerie, how are you?
I'm doing
It is fantastic to have you on the show. I'm so excited. Anto, welcome.
I'm youthful. I'm feeling youthful, man.
Yeah. I know this is not the first time you've been
it's
on
the
the
second
show.
time now.
This is the second
I mean
time.
youthful, like, because of Youth Cafe. That one just went.
Exactly. It's okay, Valerie. You'll get the next one. You'll get the next one. So let's get right into it, Valerie. You're new on the scene.
Yes.
Not many people know the name Valerie Mudhoni, and you just dropped your new jam, Brown Sugar. Please tell us a bit about the song and how it came about.
Okay, girl. So, well, I started off doing music as a singer. I used to write poetry and rap in high school, but I was like, I want to be the next next Beyonce, you know what I mean? And I never imagined doing rap. So one time I just decided, it was like at 2 a.m. and I came up with a verse and I'm like, this is fire. So I hit up my friend who's a producer. I told him, please make this beat. He made it in like 20 minutes. I did it and I wrote a song and I'm like, hey. So it was just me rapping and no one knew I could rap. So the chorus kind of birthed this alter ego, Brown Sugar, and people loved it. People are like, don't even sing anymore. Watch a singing career.
Have you left the singing now? Are you a full-time rapper now?
No, I like now. I think that's the beauty of hopefully being versatile. Now I want to be able to sing in this EP, sing, rap, poetry, mix all of that together to become Valerie Mugani.
All right, Anto, so you've been around for some time now. You know, you're a veteran in the Kenyan music industry. So could you please tell us what it was like for you coming up? I'm sure your experiences were very different because you came up a little bit earlier than she did. So what was that like for you?
I think different but also similar in a way because we are very different, eccentric type of artists. And so for even someone like Valerie to be making the moves she's making, you really have to have a lot of sort of persistence and consistency in whatever you're doing in terms of your content. So for me, I think earlier on, from the onset, I think two things that I sort of really did manage to sort of take in. One is be yourself. Like, if people are gonna have to want to know what is it about you, what's unique, what's different, just do you. And it's very cliche, but just do you, because my first single, Chips Funga, was basically this kid who's grown up in Kawangware, who's now living in Donholm, who's always in a matatu, who's just trying to hustle and is doing a couple of shows and is on Sugar and Siri, but remaining true to the street and singing about street lingua that necessarily would have been done in a pop way, but I decided to do it in a neo-soul way. So I think it was important to just be myself, but also importantly just sell you, like drive your own narrative. So if it's about Valerie rapping and stuff, it's deciding that people are going to understand me for who I am like this. This is how I speak, this is how I was born, this is how I do my thing, this is how I dress up, and everybody begins to sort of just, sort of rally around you rather than trying to fit in a crowd. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do me, and then young people will have to be like, I wanna be like Anto, rather than me trying to be like somebody else, because then who do you inspire?
Yes, very true. I'm glad you mentioned Chips Funga, because there was such a jam, such a jam. My goodness, Chips Funga. I don't even want to get it there. So what has your growth been like since Chips Funga till now, that period? What kind of growth have you experienced until your current release?
Chips Funga, obviously, clearly was, in terms of the style and the production, was clearly, I think that at that particular moment, my closest inspiration definitely did play a huge role in the sound that was Chips Funga. So that time we had, in fact, I remember KTN used to have this window where they just play for us Channel O stuff for free the whole time. So I was inspired obviously by the Maxwell, the D'Angelos, the Erykah Badu. But moving on from that period and having an album and releasing a couple of singles before now this period that is, I think I'd call the new neo-soul. I grew up listening to reggae music. I grew up being inspired and growing up to that kind of music, inspiring my uncles who I grew up with, and I used to call them by their names because they were sort of just youngins like me. And now I'm at a point where I feel like, in terms of everything that I've done, in terms of being on TV, being on radio, acting and everything, I have a voice that people have to listen to, and I need to use that voice to speak to people, and I believe that reggae music allows me to just be able to talk about content that people might be like, will not want to listen in a kapuka beat or in a neo-soul beat, but will want to listen to in reggae, and that's why I'm doing reggae music for now.
Okay. I noticed that reggae vibe within the jam, within Slow Down. Please tell us a bit about the concept for the video, because I know it's something very deep and it has a lot of social commentary within it. So please tell us.
So I met up with these amazing young guys called Folklore Films, Nick, Morris, and an amazing writer called Jim Kuria. And we decided to, they sort of said, we want to work with you on your next project. And I told them, I have two songs that I feel, have a one of them is clearly talking about social justice, stroke social injustice. And, you know, I gave them the songs and we decided to work on this song called Slow Down, produced by an amazing producer called Nick So from Mega Records. And in terms of the story that we told, vocally, the audio-wise, the song is basically all about this instant gratification that a lot of young people want, whether it's fame, fortune, and love. They want it now, now, now. And we decided to then show a story about a young Anto and his best friend growing up, and the choices they make have a repercussion, and Anto ends up in prison. And so it's also really to tell a lot of young people that, by the guys, choices you make, they have, every choice has a consequence and a repercussion. But also the idea that we don't open up doors for a lot of these young people, and young people coming from the ghetto are already shackled, and they end up again shackled in prison because of the justice and injustice in the country that we live in. And so I feel it's important for us to tell those stories, and also it's important for young people to know that I'm not just Anto, the stylish Anto they see on TV, the guy who speaks a lot of English. Mimi nimetoka mtaa, nimezaliwa ghetto, na ni muhimu wase waone hizo story alafu wajambe kumeneza kwa kama Anto. So it's important for me to tell those kind of stories, because I believe we've talked enough now. We've done the dance videos enough. We have enjoyed, we have made fun of Scrappa Papa, we've done songs about KDFs, like we've done anything that is pop. We've tackled all of that. But why are we not talking about the corruption, about, you know, education system, about the health sector? So who's gonna come up and talk about those issues? And I believe this is the time.
Definitely. We'll come back and talk about that in a bit more depth. But right now, we're going to take a look at the clip from Anto's new video, Slow Down. Let's have a look.
Seek knowledge and wisdom of 1,000 wise men. Antonio Soul, na Nixon, Nixon himself. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down. Ni muhimu ku understand yourself. What do you live for? And what will you die for? What you need is not what you want. What you want is not what you need. Humble thyself. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down. Kings and queens, respect yourself. Understand, uphold yourself. Seek the knowledge and reach yourself. Lose yourself and blame yourself. You are the only ones to change your destiny. You are the only ones, I say, where we're picking. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down. You have the key to your present door. Open it wide and you will see the world. You are the only ones to change your destiny. You are the only ones, I say, where we're picking. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Fame running far, fortune running far, love running far. Slow down. Running, 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 running.
Hey, such a vibe. Anto Neo Soul, Slow Down, right here on Youth Cafe. I am Tandy Weyego. Let's get right back into the conversation. Valerie. it is your turn now. We're gonna
Yes,
get
drum roll.
Tunaenda ndani sasa. Tunaenda ndani sasa. It's getting hot now. Brown Sugar, made in Kenya proudly. I love the video. I love that you shot it at Alchemist, and I love the opening scene where it says "Made in Kenya." You're clearly proudly Kenyan, and you're very, very deep in your identity. I absolutely love that. Even your style, you're wearing something that's Kenyan made.
Bongo Sawa.
Bongo Sawa, shout out. Please talk to us a bit about your style, because in the video, I'm like, girl, girl, slay all day. Tell us.
So the video is actually shot at Alchemist and Kenya Railways. So we have, Bongo Sawa is a Kenyan clothing brand that's minimalistic, mostly black and white, amazing stuff. And so I talked to one of the founders, is a friend of mine, and he's always been so supportive of just the culture and building the culture. So I told him, hey, I have this video I'm trying to work on. You know, when you're an independent artist, it's very hard, especially if you don't have like a lot of funding. It's hard to do costume and film, and so every part you see in that video was people that just said, "Enyewe, we believe in your talent and let's make this video happen." So he's called Musa. He just said, "Come to the shop, pick whichever fit you like, and and this is it." And you see so many others, even in the short and sweet video, same place we actually shot it, the same place. I just realized when the video came out. The end is also wearing a white version of this.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm glad we can look good in Kenya, and it doesn't have to be only just Kitenge, or and look, here repping.
That's amazing. So I'm gonna go into what you guys are listening to. I'm gonna shoot this question to each of you. Number one, what are the top 5 most played jams on your iPod or on your playlist right now? Hit me.
Go first.
You, ladies first.
Ladies first, Valerie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. Can I give artists? Because songs is very hard.
Yes.
Okay. So top 5 artists I'm listening to right now. Burna Boy's Outside album. It's amazing. This guy called Masego. Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. We're going to the jazz side of things.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Masego. Kenyan-wise, there's a new song by Okweli and Karun. I love that's the music I've been listening to.
Yes.
Who else? I think I'd say that for sure. Top 3. Okay. And of course, my Kenyan favorites, Blinky Bill, Antonia Song. Can you bless us with new music we add to the playlist?
Yes.
I think for me, I'd have to say there's a lady called Ray, R-A-Y-E. People need to check her out. There's a song she's done with Malik Berry. I absolutely love the song. I think, did Masego sing a song called Navajo?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on Navajo.
It's in my system. And then I'm listening to the new Jessie J album called Rose, actually. So there's 5 songs. There's Real Deal. There is an amazing jam called Queen. I think all the ladies need to listen to that jam. Petty, and there's also X. There's also a brand new album by Tony Braxton, who has played a huge role even, I think, even the way I sound.
Yes.
There's a song called... why should I say this? How time is it? Anyway, it's called Sex and Cigarette. So it's actually a really dope jam.
Yeah.
And I think locally, honestly, I really love Valerie Muthoni's stuff. This girl is, she's unique and she's going really far.
Yes.
I want to cry.
And there's a jam I just remembered by a guy called Shamir. I'm trying to remember the title, man. It's so dope. It's called Mr. Champion.
Okay.
That you guys look for that jam. That jam is groovy. If Kenya that summer, that's a summer jam.
You heard him. You heard him. And right now it's about time we take a look at my girl Valerie Muthoni's video, Brown Sugar, coming on your screens right now. Let's do it.
Don't got no white man in Brown Sugar.
Done killed it, brown sugar done stole the game and ran with it. Brown sugar take it, man, no it's not the plan, but if you want it, I'm with it. Brown sugar a 10, give it my flow, then never wanna hear shit again. Pisces season again, I do this shit willing, I give it 1,000%. Brown sugar done killed it, brown sugar done stole the game and ran with it. Brown sugar take it, man, no it's not the plan, but if you want it, I'm with it. Brown sugar a 10, give it my flow, then never wanna hear shit again. Pisces season again, I do this shit willing, I give it 1,000%. Motherfuckers better step your game up. Heard you only good from the waist up. Only work with real niggas that pay up. Got no time for suckers, just straight up. Dog straight up, hands straight up. Stay gassed up, so the only way's up. Been such a bad man since time. And I say more every time I rhyme, yeah. And I ain't done yet. Ain't even started yet. Now brown sugar's a threat. Man, fuck your feelings, nigga, fuck your feelings. I don't give a fuck about who, where, what did it. Sell the shows out, all the records independent. Show my nigga just what I want and he get it. I can never take it back cause I know that he meant it. Yeah. I know that he meant it, I know that he meant it. Minute I turned around, dropped it down low. He said, baby girl, you against it. Brown sugar then killed it. Brown sugar then stole it. Game and ran with it. Brown sugar take it, man. No, it's not the plan, but if you want it, I'm with it. Brown sugar a 10. Give it my flow, then never wanna hear shit again. Pisces season again. I do this shit well and I give it 1,000%. Brown sugar then killed it. Brown sugar then stole it. Game and ran with it. Brown sugar take it, man. No, it's not the plan, but if you want it, I'm with it. Brown sugar a 10. Give it my flow, then never wanna hear shit again. Pisces season again. I do this shit well and I give it 1,000%. Okay, Pisces season again. Flow like the ocean, make sure you're paddling then. Roll like the lions of den. And even then, man shouldn't fuck on my zen. Yeah, we in this again. Gas, the green is the green. Clap back, season and ting. I learned from the best, Auntie Riri the queen. Brown sugar and Tyson. Brown sugar and knock on Mike Tyson. All I'm saying, if it's on site, then it's on site. Brown sugar nigga better act right. Been sleeping on the kid too long. Rocking with greatness, MDQ. No chances not to say song. Fan put me on, yeah, this city put me on. Don't get the hype about Gucci gang. I'm black and white, bongo sour. Nigga tryna buy me, chase me, cash my damn Nico sour. I don't need Kanye, I got power. I got smoke and I also got fire. Came out alive like Gate to the wire. Brown sugar then killed it. Brown sugar then stole it. Game and ran with it. Brown sugar take it, man. No, it's not the plan, but if you want it, I'm with it. Brown sugar a 10. Give it my flow, then never wanna hear shit again. Pisces season again. I do this shit well and I give it 1,000%.
Yes. It's such a party up in here. Valerie Mudoni, Brown Sugar. What's up? Right now we're gonna move into our person of the week, Anthony Bourdain. Oh my goodness, this is a very sad one. He passed away today. He committed suicide, which brings about the topic of suicide. It's something that's been very, very, very at the forefront of American society right now. The rate of suicide in the U.S. has doubled. It's 25% since the last 2 decades, and it's horrible. The fashion designer Kate Spade recently committed suicide just the other day. And now we have Anthony Bourdain. He was such a connoisseur when it comes to food. So let's take a look at what his life was like.
Hanoi for 6 months back in the last...
A true master of the culinary arts and storytelling, Emmy Award-winning Anthony Bourdain is our person of the week. The French chef, who was the host of the award-winning CNN series Parts Unknown, was found unresponsive in a hotel room in France today morning.
I hate mascots.
The police have ruled it as a suicide, shocking many fans. Bourdain, 61, was a master in the kitchen and in the media. Through his TV shows and books, he explored the human condition and helped audiences think differently about food, travel, and themselves. Once called the original rock star of the culinary world, along the way he received practically every award the industry has to offer. He won a Peabody Award in 2013 for taking us beyond our regular palates and horizons.